Hey everybody! I'm feeling a calling to come out and get connected with all of you on YouTube. I'm going to tune in to Archangel Metatron today and we'll see what message he has to share with all of us. It's going to be interesting because it's Archangel Metatron, but it's going to be interesting because it's going to be a message from the universe, from higher spiritual realms, and we're going to transform from it. We're going to feel absolutely transformed from it. That's what's going to happen here. You ready for this? Do you even know how to be ready for this? All you have to do is just chill out, relax, and just let me do all the work. There's no work you have to do. You just receive right now, okay? All right. I'm going to get tuned in here. See what Archangel Metatron has to share. He's showing me above and below. And then there's this middle space. So we've got like the upper bun and the lower bun, and then we have some meat in the middle, except there's literally nothing in the middle. It's just above and below. And there's separation. And it's really hard to break that separation down. It's almost like we're trying to get rid of whatever this is. It's holding back the above and it's holding back the below, and the above and below want to come together. But they can't because this odd energy is keeping things separated. So Archangel Metatron is asking me to help. So I'm just studying the energy right now. It's very dense. It goes on forever in every direction. If you have a flat sheet of paper, and if it were to be infinite, it could go on in every single direction. It just doesn't seem to get wider. It just goes on in every other direction. North, east, south, and west. And it's dense. Doesn't come with a lot of explanation. I start to see that this upper part is, I don't know, it's got like strange crusts that are developing on it. Like odd, hard growths. Almost like the sesame seeds to the bun, but it's really a lot grosser than that. It's got a pinkish hue and it looks sickly. And then the lower bun is like a dark bluish purple color. And it's smoothed out. But the center is just the unknown, this sort of unknown. It's got like this Twilight Zone effect to it because there's so many question marks to it. What is it? What does it mean? If you go to the Twilight Zone, you have no idea what's going to happen. You couldn't even fathom it, right? So this middle piece is kind of like this too. It's this questionable unknown. But everything else seems to make sense, even though it's not very delightful looking. And I tell Archangel Metatron, this just looks like a bunch of problems to me. Is moving out the middle really going to help this upper and lower feel better? He says you still haven't figured out how to move out the middle. Move out the middle and we'll find out. That's what he's like. I got a wild idea, and so I'm just bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. So since this middle is energy, and it could be any energy that I choose for it to be, because I'm going to change its energetic meaning. I change its energetic meaning by planting seeds of ideas in order for it to shift. So I'm defining it as Archangel Metatron. So I say, okay, Archangel Metatron, then you're the middle. You're the middle energy. And let's see how the middle energy shifts. He starts to cry. He feels very sad and he feels trapped. And he feels like he can't grow anymore. And the growth is internal. It's growing internal. And it's painful. It's not expansion, it's implosion. It's like an opposing growth that is very painful. like an ingrown toenail. It's like there's something ingrown and painful, and it needs to be looked at. All right, and I say, okay, Archangel Metatron, since I had you become the middle, now I'm going to become the middle and see what happens. I see this as, boy, it's a grid, all right? How many cubes are in this grid? It's unfathomable, the number. They're compartments. Forever and ever 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 and ever. And oddly enough, it's almost like each one of these compartments it could even be a single lifetime. But there's so many variations to it that are happening forever, okay? It could be all your lifetimes, for instance. It could be an entire soul timeline, but it could be all your soul timelines. It could be everything. It's infinite. But I do feel there's a separation between receiving change. So trying to get these to the upper and the lower to actually touch it, they won't touch it. They refuse it. But it's really this middle piece that is refusing to be touched. I'm going to go even deeper into the middle here. Just into one of these boxes. I start to see that every box is a soul's own personal nightmare. It's a soul's personal imprisonment. So every soul is living out infinite personal imprisonments, okay? So imagine how infinite this is. It's at its source's personal imprisonments. It's all of source's personal imprisonments forever. And I don't like to define it as imprisoning, but you won't be set free from the cube until you've solved your own riddle, okay? And the cube is your learning station. It's your space in order to have self-discoveries about various different aspects of yourself that you are vulnerable to, okay? And a cube is an infinite space inside of itself. So that's the middle. This is what it is, okay? It sources learning, growth, and development, but it's very hard learning, very hard to break. It's very hard to be set free. It's very hard to solve the riddle. I can't break down the walls because these souls haven't completed their cycle yet. They haven't completed their self-discoveries yet. So I can't be God and just say, oh, okay, you don't have to be in the box anymore and you could just keep being whoever you want to be. But they just keep falling in the same vulnerabilities. You have to work through them. This is the only true way to be set free, right? So I can't actually change any of this because I can't just set everybody free. They haven't finalized their efforts. They have to work through their own cube of experience. They have to. So I'm just like telling Metatron, okay, now I'm starting to get it. Now I'm starting to understand. But I can't just break the walls down here. It's not for me. So let's see what he says. He asked me if there's ever going to come a time when the souls will all be complete, where the boxes don't need to exist anymore. Can I find a time in all of time when this happens? This is important. A lot of people will immediately say yes. You could read it in any like book by a yogi, that eventually all souls will ascend this, okay? All souls will. But even ascended masters are still, I find still like unfathomable, extraordinary souls, like holy shit souls, are still here doing stuff. And they're still dealing with the same struggles and frustrations that we're all dealing with, but they're conquering them. They're also expressions of light, helping other souls find the light inside themselves, but they're just as vulnerable, just as vulnerable. So I'm looking here, but I want to make sure that I don't just immediately say yes to that, because I want to believe that's true. I want to actually see it for myself. And I tell Metatron, if all time exists at all times, then the answer is no. Because forever there's going to be that experience. Even if in a time that a soul is set free from it, there's still a time when the soul is never set free. So what is true? The beginning or the end? Or the middle? Or all of them are true? But souls also deviate. Like, souls come to like this climax of their journey, and then they get interested in something else, and now they go on to some new broken fantasy experience, okay? Forever this keeps circulating, and souls love this stuff. They can't get enough of it. That's why we're here. The human struggles. The soul says bring it, right? And I ask him, why is the upper getting sick and the lower getting sick? It's like the lower is nowhere near as sick as the upper. The upper looks like chunks of barf into a bun. There's something stuck about time is the best way I could describe it. Something stuck about the experience of setting free or moving on to the next thing. It's like everything the gears stopped. So like you could have a well-oiled engine, right? And it functions smoothly. Here it's all dried up and it's not in smoothly turning, you know, it's just stopped. It's like the Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz. Doesn't mean he's not still alive, he just simply can't move. So his growth has become stagnant, and Metatron shows me again, it's going inward. And that has to shift. And it's about the human race. So this is what I do. I plant a seed of love into every one of these cubes, okay? It's just a seed that is glowing with white light. It's just pure love, okay? Pure love. And so I'm placing a seed of pure love into each one of the cubes. The source is personal imprisonment, okay? And pure love is energy that creates inspirations of movement and change. It's the grease. It's the WD-40. It lubricates it. And now I'm just looking into one of the cubes, and I see this like starlight inside of the cube. And this is important. This is really important. So you know how he's saying, well, I can't just be God. I can't just like say everybody's done, you're free to go now, you know, because each part of God has to complete its self-discovery process. It's in a box forever. All right, it sounds worse than it really is. Okay. All right, so me putting the seed in here is there's parts of source that are resisting the light, that are resisting the love, and because they've been in the dark for so long, the light is actually scary. Because the one thing the dark is afraid of is coming full circle with its own self-judgments, basically. Reliving the shame, reliving the embarrassment, reliving the horror, reliving these very terrible memories. The soul can't cope with it, so it can resist, holding itself back from just saying, heal me, right? Anger gets in the way. A feeling of, yeah, it frustrates me, but I'm fine. That is getting in the way. Like, you got to break it on down here. You got to say, I'm not fine. Yeah, it bothers me, but I'm fine. No, it bothers me. I'm not fine. That needs to be reconciled. These emotions need to be had here. And so this seed of light is angelic, is God coming to God's own rescue in a way, like God's twin self of love, like, is getting brighter. It's getting brighter for each human being, and is getting closer, and we're starting to feel it, receive it, open up to it, want to become weak to it, let that light in. Because the reason why it's hard to get out of the box is it's hard to let the light in. It's hard to let the love in. We say we want it, but we don't understand what it is. We think we know what it is. But the love is so much more than our minds, our humanness can comprehend it. You ever want something in your life, and every time you come close to getting it, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You ever have time where it's just like you keep getting hit in the face with the same baseball bat? So you stop dreaming. You stop living in your dreams. You stop believing in anything good is ever going to come. You give up. That is you shutting the light out. That is you not realizing why the baseball bat exists in the first place, is there to help you break down your insecurities. But the mind has a hard time understanding what those insecurities are. But this is a miracle. This is God coming to God's own rescue. This is Source coming to each and every one of us in the form of this light. It's not just me manifesting it. We're all working together to do this. We all want healed. We all want set free. And Metatron wants us to start dreaming of the time when we are liberated. When we are liberated. Because there's something about the middle piece that is influencing the upper and the lower dimensional pieces, okay? And it's unreconciled. So as this comes into its own, as this finds the light within itself, it shifts. And then it radiates transformation above and below, so that growing inward grows. How many of us struggle with our emotions, right? How many of us don't even want to go there with our feelings? It's like the pain grows inward, and we just keep trying to cope with it by putting on a happy face. But expansion, we're on the cusp of some very extraordinary expansion. And to liberate this middle piece is going to send healing above and below, which is going to be an explosion of new possibilities, new experiences, growth, expansion for all of Source. Every one of us wins, okay? You gotta let the love in. Gotta be honest with the self. And if you feel like you're being honest, say, if there's anything that I'm not seeing here, anything that I'm not admitting to, that I really feel like I know, how I feel about things, but maybe there's something that I don't know, and I'm open to seeing that, and I'm not afraid to see it. I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. you got to go in there. You got to go down that hallway. I mean, these are all parts, these are just examples of surrendering to the light. These are all examples that you can use. So Metatron does, he wants me and you, us all, to visualize a time when the human race, when we have the strength, each and every individual one of us, and of source, it could even be beyond this planet. We don't know how we affect literally everything in a universe, but to visualize, to daydream about this seed is reaching the heart of every one of us, and including your heart, the hearts of your best friends and family members, the hearts of your enemies, the hearts of the planet, the animals, the hearts of the stars, the hearts of our alien friends, the hearts of our soulmates in heaven or in other dimensional spaces, the hearts of our soul fragments. Like, it's reaching the hearts of literally all of source that is still in the boxes, okay, of struggle, of challenge. Daydreaming about this creates the power for change to take place for all of us. And Metatron, he's trying to inspire us, right? How can his voice reach us when we don't know how to hear what the angels are saying? So this is how he's trying to help create change here. So me talking to Metatron is me talking to you, is giving you an opportunity to understand something in a new way and think about it, okay? Decide what you want to do with it. I will say just this, it is, my heart feels really hot, like there's been circulation going on. It feels vulnerable at times too. My emotions as well feel affected. So my heart and my emotions feel affected by this conversation, which tells me that it's moving my own energy field, which means it's moving your energy fields as well, which is good. All right, this is my message for all of you. I hope you enjoy it. Daydream, okay? Enjoy your daydreams, or struggle with them too, because the only way to really get the emotions out is to sit with your daydreams. Follow them all the way through, no matter how nasty and gross and ugly it gets. But it's okay to sit with your daydreams that you don't want to daydream about anymore because you've been so broken along the way. You got to sit with those daydreams again. You got to mend all the pieces. You got to ask for help in mending the pieces. You got to feel the pain of why you stopped daydreaming about this. Okay? That's going to reach those parts of you. It's going to help. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining me in this experience. Check out my Zodiac energy readings. All right? I just posted them there April 1st, I think. So if you don't know anything about that, go do Zodiac energy readings. You'll find I do Zodiac energy readings. Also, I have another YouTube channel, Abbey Psychic Services, so I post client sessions there. So you gotta check me out here. I'm not just one, I'm many, okay? I got Zodiac energy readings, I got Abbey Psychic Services, I got Abbey Normal. And just recently on Patreon, I posted a handful of soul journeys. So I know you guys are on me about this. Abbey, I love the alien messages, but what about the humans? Like, I want to hear some soul journeys on actual people. So I've been watching Tiger King on Netflix. I watched the second episodes, and I did some soul journeys on the different people in the show. Then I watched the third episode, so I did some more soul journeys. Now I'm watching the fourth and fifth episodes, and I'm feeling so sad, like brokenhearted. I can't even watch the sixth episode. Anyway, it's a very fascinating show, and it's interesting on so many levels. It really showcases what it is to be human, and no judgment here. We have to shift away. I mean, we're asking the questions right and wrong, good, bad. And who are we as people? How do we express ourselves? Like, this type of psychology just really fascinates me. So if you're interested in checking out the soul journeys, which there's going to be more to come, then you should check me out on Patreon too. Abbey Normal's Wisdom Quest. And if you want to do a psychic session with me, then you should visit my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right. If you guys are bored because you're forced inside your house because of a coronavirus, then you need to check out my other YouTube channels. Go join Patreon. Watch the Tiger King. You need to do all that stuff. And then you should get a psychic session as well. Then you can discover yourself some more. You can bring in more light into who you are. And it really change your life. Give you a brand new start. It's cool. It's really cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.